This time our Texas legend is none other than our old friend from Littlefield, Texas, Waylon Jennings, one of the highwaymen and one of the legends of Texas music.
Waylon Jennings, one of the things that stands out in my mind, first of all, he's a really big influence on me, just tough. Whether it's his sound or just the way the guy looks or put it across, you just don't really mess with it, you know what I mean? And nobody could touch it.
Man, just one of the greats, you know, one of the original outlaw, you know, Texas Outlaws, you know. I mean, everything that we're doing right now is because of what those guys did back then.
You have to be a fan of Waylon and just the voice in general, you know, and then just the reputation the guy had. And once we started digging real deep into playing all the time, we got to be friends with Shooter and with Jesse. We had one opportunity to meet Waylon and have dinner with him in Austin. And my excuse was, I've already had way too much to drink. I'm just gonna go over there and stare at him and keep saying, you know who you are? You know what you did for me?
Never really met the guy, but I did get the chance to be about as close as Jordan and I are. And you know, you hear people talk about famous folks, and well, they were short, not really a big. Waylon was a big guy, you know. And I don't know if he was really just big, but he just seemed larger than life. Tall guy, not somebody you really wanted to tangle with.
When you grow up in West Texas and you know people who knew Waylon Jennings, it makes you think, man, if this West Texas kid from Littlefield can make it, then maybe this kid from Amarillo can too.
There ain't nobody better to tee it up when you want to have either a really good time with your friends on a Sunday, or really hit on a chick on a Saturday night at a bar, or cry about somebody really screwing you. He's got it all, man. So he and Willie, man, they're it.
Waylon, he picked the good tunes, he wrote the good tunes, he hung out with the right songwriters. He had a sound unlike anybody else, and still does. I mean, there's been so many people that try to, you hear that phase or a flange, and you automatically think, well, they're trying to sound like Waylon.
I love his records, man. Just the sound, his guitar playing, his songwriting, his blues influence, and knowing that he played with Buddy Holly on that last tour, and Buddy was producing some of his stuff. Just that rock and roll influence still stuck with him over the years. He brought drums and things back into country recordings. Sorely missed, and definitely a huge influence.
Waylon Jennings, to me, is one of the most identifiable, recognizable artists ever, as far as, you know, sound, image, attitude, the whole thing. And you know, it's one of the few people you can go into a studio and say, I want to do a Waylon song. Everybody knows what you're talking about, and that's a good thing.
Coming up on the Texas music scene, we'll close this one down with a live performance of 1100 Springs doing Rock Island Live.